Have you ever felt fear's icy grip paralyzing your dreams, whispers of doubt echoing in the quiet chambers of your mind? Perhaps you've longed for a way to break free, to claim the purpose you know deep within your soul. King Solomon, a man graced with unparalleled wisdom and immense wealth, understood this struggle long before modern thought leaders like Napoleon Hill emerged. Solomon knew that fear is not just an emotion, but a barrier, a shadow that obscures the divine path laid out before us. Today, we journey into ancient wisdom and contemporary insights, seeking the keys to completely remove fear and step into a life of success with profound purpose. This isn't merely about overcoming a feeling, it's about awakening your spirit, confronting inertia, shattering internal lies, and inspiring definitive decisions that will forever alter your trajectory. Fear, a silent predator, often lurks in the shadows of our potential, whispering tales of inadequacy and past failures. It's a phantom limb that aches, even when the threat is long gone, holding us captive in a self-made prison of what-ifs. This pervasive force, as insidious as it is subtle, drains our energy, stifles our creativity, and keeps us from stepping into the abundant life promised to us. King Solomon, in his profound observations, recognized this internal adversary, understanding that true freedom begins when we disarm the fears that bind our spirits. He saw fear not as an external enemy, but as an internal stronghold, requiring divine strategy. Many believe fear is a natural, unavoidable part of life, a constant companion on the journey. Yet, this belief often becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, perpetuating a cycle of hesitation and missed opportunities. We become so accustomed to its presence that we mistake its whispers for truth, its limitations for reality. But what if this perception itself is the greatest lie we tell ourselves? What if the very act of accepting fear as an inevitable companion robs us of the audacious faith required to walk boldly into our divine assignments and embrace true spiritual transformation? Think of the countless moments you've allowed apprehension to dictate your choices, to pull you back from the precipice of greatness. Was it the fear of failure, the fear of judgment, or perhaps the fear of the unknown that held you captive? These aren't just fleeting emotions. They are deeply ingrained patterns, reinforced by societal norms and past experiences that create a formidable cage around our true potential. This cage, though invisible, is far more restrictive than any physical barrier, limiting not just our actions, but the very scope of our dreams. Solomon, observing the human condition with unparalleled insight, understood that the beginning of wisdom is the turning away from this pervasive dread. He writes in Proverbs 29:25, "The fear of man lays a snare, but whoever trusts in the Lord is safe." This ancient truth echoes a profound psychological insight. Fear of external opinion, of what others might think or say, is a trap. It binds us, just as surely as physical chains, to a life far smaller than we are meant to live, preventing genuine expressions of our purpose. Napoleon Hill, centuries later, in his monumental work Think and Grow Rich, identified fear as one of the 6 basic ghosts of fear, a mental construct that must be conquered for success. He meticulously dissected the ways in which doubt and apprehension impede progress, aligning remarkably with Solomon's wisdom. Hill stressed that thought, when imbued with purpose and backed by unwavering faith, can overcome any internal obstacle. He taught that a definite purpose, cultivated and guarded, becomes an impregnable fortress against the onslaught of worry. The convergence of these two profound minds, separated by millennia, offers a powerful testament to an eternal truth. The mind is the ultimate battleground where fear is either vanquished or allowed to reign supreme, just as a seed requires fertile Ground to flourish, our spirits demand a mind free from the weeds of anxiety. This freedom is not found in the absence of challenges, but in the unwavering conviction that our inner strength, rooted in divine wisdom, is greater than any external adversity, cultivating a mindset ripe for spiritual growth. Consider the story of a young entrepreneur burdened by the fear of failure after a previous venture collapsed. Every new idea was met with a chorus of internal doubts, every opportunity overshadowed by the specter of past mistakes. This fear was not a guardian, it was a thief, robbing him of the courage to innovate, to risk, and to grow. He was caught in a cycle where inaction perpetuated his apprehension, reinforcing the belief that he was destined for disappointment, living a life devoid of the abundant promises of God. This entrepreneur's struggle mirrors a universal human experience. How often do we allow the ghosts of past failures or imagined future setbacks to dictate our present actions? We become so consumed by the possibility of error that we forget the inherent power within us to create, to adapt, and to triumph. This paralysis, fueled by unspoken fears, prevents us from embracing the very lessons that could lead us to breakthrough, keeping us from recognizing the divine signs guiding our path. Solomon's wisdom speaks directly to this state. As he thinks in his heart, so is he. Proverbs 23:7. Our internal landscape, sculpted by our thoughts and beliefs, manifests outwardly in our reality. If our thoughts are consumed by fear, then fear becomes our reality. But if we consciously choose to cultivate thoughts of courage, faith, and purpose, then those very thoughts become the building blocks of a new, empowering existence, fostering a renewed faith and transformation. Napoleon Hill echoed this sentiment with his emphasis on definiteness of purpose, a clear vision coupled with unwavering belief. He understood that a burning desire, free from the contamination of fear, acts as a powerful magnet, drawing opportunities and resources towards it. It's a profound spiritual truth, stating that what we hold firmly in our minds, with persistent effort and faith, we are capable of achieving, aligning perfectly with God's ultimate purpose for our lives. So how do we begin to dismantle these deeply rooted fears? The first step is acknowledging their presence without judgment, understanding that they are not a sign of weakness, but an invitation to growth. This requires a moment of profound introspection, a willingness to gaze into the mirror of our souls and identify the specific anxieties that hold us captive. It's in this honest self-assessment that the path to liberation begins to reveal itself, leading to deep spiritual transformation. We must then confront the origin of these fears. Are they inherited beliefs, traumatic experiences, or simply the echoes of negative voices from our past? Understanding the roots of our anxieties allows us to address them not as overwhelming forces, but as narratives that can be rewritten. This is a deliberate act of self-excavation, a courageous journey into the subconscious mind to unearth the hidden stories that have shaped our present reality and to find true purpose. Solomon implored his listeners to seek wisdom above all else, for wisdom illuminates the path and dispels the shadows of ignorance. Wisdom is the principal thing, therefore get wisdom, and with all your getting, get understanding. Proverbs 4:7. This understanding extends to the intricate workings of our own minds, recognizing how fear operates and how it can be systematically disarmed through enlightened knowledge and divine insight, leading to powerful prayers. Hill's concept of a mastermind alliance also plays a crucial role here. Surrounding ourselves with individuals who uplift, inspire, and challenge us to grow can provide the external validation and encouragement needed to combat internal fears. These alliances act as a shield against doubt, offering fresh perspectives and reinforcing our belief in our own capabilities, helping us to recognize the powerful signs of God in our lives. Imagine a vast, dense forest shrouded in mist, where every shadow seems to harbor a threat. Fear often paints our future in such hues. But what if you were handed a torch? Not just any torch, but one fueled by divine wisdom and unwavering faith. Suddenly, the shadows recede and the path ahead becomes clear. This is the transformative power of a mind illuminated by truth, dispelling the illusions of fear and revealing the abundance that awaits us. The journey to freedom from fear is not a sudden leap, but a series of deliberate, consistent steps. It's about building new mental pathways, replacing old narratives of apprehension with powerful affirmations of courage and faith. Each small victory over a specific fear strengthens our resolve, much like a muscle growing stronger with each repetition, preparing us to receive divine promises and pursue true success. Solomon advised, "Commit your works to the Lord, and your thoughts will be established." Proverbs 16:3. This isn't passive resignation, but an active surrender rooted in trust. When we align our intentions with divine will, our minds become fortified against the anxieties of an uncertain future. It's about releasing the need for complete control and embracing the profound peace that comes from trusting in a higher plan, seeking God's purpose. This alignment also speaks to the principle of thought as cause, a cornerstone of Hill's philosophy. Our dominant thoughts, whether positive or negative, become the architects of our reality. By intentionally focusing on possibilities rather than perils, on blessings rather than burdens, we begin to reshape our internal world, creating a fertile ground where fear struggles to take root, thus unlocking the path to true spiritual transformation. One powerful technique to dismantle fear is through consistent, purposeful action. Inaction breeds doubt and apprehension, while even small steps forward build momentum and courage. It's about moving despite the trembling, stepping into the unknown, with the conviction that each stride, no matter how small, leads us closer to our desired outcome and further away from the suffocating grip of anxiety. Think of a tightrope walker. Their fear is real, the height daunting. But they focus not on the fall, but on the next step, on the destination, trusting in their training and balance. Similarly, in life, we must train our minds to focus on the desired outcome, to trust in our inner resources and divine guidance, rather than dwelling on the potential pitfalls that fear so readily presents. Solomon observed, "The sluggard says, 'There is a lion outside, I shall be killed in the streets.'" Proverbs 22:13. This vividly portrays the tendency to create exaggerated obstacles, to conjure imaginary dangers that justify inaction. This lion in the street syndrome is a classic manifestation of fear, preventing us from even attempting what we are capable of and hindering our ability to pursue God's purpose. Hill's emphasis on applied faith directly counters this sluggard's mentality. Faith for Hill was not a passive belief, but an active force, a conviction that impels one to move forward despite apparent challenges. It's the unwavering certainty that your desired outcome will manifest, coupled with the consistent effort to make it happen, a powerful component of spiritual awakening. Another critical aspect is controlling the input we allow into our minds. Just as a garden needs careful tending, our minds require protection from the weeds of negative news, toxic relationships, and self-defeating narratives. What we consume mentally directly influences our emotional landscape, either feeding our fears or nourishing our faith, impacting our ability to receive divine promises. This isn't about avoiding reality, but about curating our mental diet with intentionality. Solomon warns, "Guard your heart above all else, for it determines the course of your life." Proverbs 4:23. Our heart in this context encompasses our thoughts, emotions, and beliefs. What we permit to enter our inner sanctuary shapes our entire existence, making spiritual transformation essential. The power of visualization, a technique championed by modern success gurus, finds its roots in ancient wisdom. By vividly imagining our desired future, Free from the constraints of fear, we begin to program our subconscious mind for success. This mental rehearsal, when coupled with strong emotion and unwavering belief, becomes a powerful force for manifestation, aligning with the promises of God. Solomon implicitly understood this, advising to ponder the path of your feet, then all your ways will be sure. Proverbs 4:26. To ponder in this sense is to deeply consider, to mentally walk through the steps, envisioning the outcome. This careful foresight, imbued with positive expectation, removes much of the uncertainty that feeds fear, paving the way for powerful prayers. This deliberate mental patterning is not mere wishful thinking, it's a strategic deployment of our innate creative power. When we clearly define what we desire and hold that image steadfastly in our minds, the universe, in alignment with divine law, begins to conspire in our favor, opening doors and revealing opportunities that were previously hidden by the veil of fear guiding our purpose. Imagine a river flowing ceaselessly towards its destination. Its power is not in resisting obstacles, but in flowing around them, wearing them down over time. Similarly, our resolve, when rooted in faith and purpose, can flow around the impediments of fear, gradually eroding their power until they become insignificant. This unwavering flow is a testament to true inner strength and resilience. Building a strong internal fortress against fear also involves cultivating an attitude of gratitude. When we consciously acknowledge the blessings in our lives, our perspective shifts from scarcity to abundance, from apprehension to appreciation. Gratitude acts as a powerful antidote to anxiety, opening our hearts to receive even more and to recognize the profound and subtle signs of God's grace. Solomon understood this profound connection. A joyful heart is good medicine, but a crushed spirit dries up the bones. Proverbs 17:22. Joy, born from a grateful heart, strengthens our spirit, making us less susceptible to the debilitating effects of worry and fear, allowing us to embrace transformation. It's a divine prescription for a life filled with vitality and purpose. This principle of gratitude is not about ignoring challenges, but about acknowledging the inherent goodness that exists even amidst difficulty. It's the ability to find light in the shadows, to see lessons in setbacks, and to trust that every experience contributes to our ultimate growth and unfolding, reinforcing our faith in God's promises. The concept of definite purpose, as espoused by Napoleon Hill, aligns seamlessly with Solomon's wisdom on clear vision. When your purpose is clearly defined, fear has less room to maneuver. It's like having a lighthouse guiding your ship through a stormy sea. The clearer the light, the less disorienting the storm, giving us the clarity to make powerful prayers. A clear purpose provides an unwavering anchor in the shifting tides of uncertainty. It grounds us, gives direction, and provides the intrinsic motivation to press forward even when doubts creep in. Without a definite purpose, we become like a ship without a rudder, adrift on the vast ocean of life, susceptible to every emotional gust. Think of a master craftsman meticulously shaping a piece of wood. Their purpose is clear: to create something beautiful and functional. They don't fear the imperfections of the raw material. They see potential. Similarly, we must approach our lives with a clear purpose, seeing challenges not as roadblocks, but as opportunities to refine our character and manifest our divine destiny. The courage to face fear often comes from a deep spiritual conviction, a knowing that we are not alone. This connection to the divine, a sense of being guided and supported, provides an inner resilience that transcends logical understanding. It's the quiet assurance that even when the path is unclear, a higher power is directing our steps. Solomon, in all his glory, consistently sought divine wisdom, acknowledging its supreme value. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct your paths. Proverbs 3:5-6. This complete surrender to divine guidance is the ultimate antidote to fear, leading to profound spiritual transformation. This trust is not blind faith, it is an active choice to align our will with a higher purpose, believing that even the most challenging circumstances are part of a greater, unfolding plan. It's a testament to the power of surrender, releasing the burden of control and embracing the peace that comes from knowing we are divinely supported. Consider the towering mountains, unmoved by the fiercest storms. Their strength comes not from resistance, but from their deep roots, firmly planted in the earth. Similarly, our inner strength against fear comes from being deeply rooted in faith, anchored in the immutable principles of divine wisdom, allowing us to receive powerful promises from God. The process of completely removing fear is an ongoing journey, not a destination. It requires constant vigilance, a willingness to examine our thoughts, and a commitment to nurturing a mindset of courage and faith. Each day presents new opportunities to challenge our limitations and step further into our true, fear-free potential. This journey is also about self-compassion. There will be moments of doubt, setbacks, and times when old fears resurface. In those moments, rather than self-condemnation, we must offer ourselves grace, remembering that growth is a process, and that persistence coupled with faith ultimately leads to triumph over adversity. Napoleon Hill often spoke of the infinite intelligence, a universal force accessible to those who align their minds with positive thought and unwavering faith. This mirrors Solomon's understanding of divine wisdom, a boundless source of knowledge and power available to all who seek it with a sincere heart, guiding us to recognize subtle signs of God's presence. When we tap into this infinite intelligence, the whispers of fear begin to fade, replaced by a deep sense of knowing and an unshakable confidence. It's the realization that we are part of something far greater than ourselves, connected to a universal wisdom that can guide us through any challenge, leading to powerful transformation. So as we reflect on the timeless wisdom of Solomon and the practical insights of Napoleon Hill, the path to removing fear becomes clear. It involves a conscious decision to choose faith over apprehension, purpose over paralysis, and divine guidance over human understanding. It's an internal revolution leading to an external manifestation of a life lived fully, with purpose and without limit. The true essence of courage is not the absence of fear, but the triumph over it. It's the willingness to act despite apprehension, knowing that on the other side of our greatest fears lie our greatest blessings. Embrace this truth and step boldly into the life you were destined to live, a life guided by divine wisdom and infused with limitless possibilities, filled with powerful prayers and clear purpose.